From CBS News headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite.
Good evening. In a landmark ruling, the Supreme Court today legalized abortions. The majority in cases from Texas and Georgia said that the decision to end a pregnancy during the first 3 months belongs to the woman and her doctor, not the government. Thus, the anti-abortion laws of 46 states were rendered unconstitutional.
It was my senior year and I was involved in everything. I ended up pregnant at 17. I only told one friend. She told her mom, and her mom said, okay, here's the money and here's what you do. And that's when I decided to have an abortion. And I just decided, okay, just move on, it's over.
Even though I had took the pregnancy test and everything to show that, oh, you're pregnant, I was still down. No, I'm not pregnant. No, I'm not pregnant. Till like it was time to tell my mother.
I was really hurt because my children know what I've been through as a single parent. And at the point I want to put her out.
Like I never ever seen my mom cry like that, ever.
I heard about what was going on with the abortion, with girls not wanting their babies. And I told my husband about it. He asked me, so what do the girls do when they finally talk about a girl, convince the girl to have the baby? Where does this girl go for medical care? And I said, you are a doctor, I'm a medical administrator. I think that this is our mission.
When my wife Amy and I first got married, we'd always talked about how someday it'd be fun to adopt a child. Well, the years go by and we started having our own kids, and at the birth of our third child, we had a lot of complications with that pregnancy, and were advised by our physician not to try to get pregnant again. And that's when we started to pray more about it and realized that God wanted to still grow our family, but grow it in a different way.
We realize that a woman facing an unplanned pregnancy has many difficult decisions and choices to make, and so we want to try to come alongside and empower her to make a life-affirming choice. And then we help support all of the life-affirming agencies in our city, and we do that through love and care and compassion.
I fell in love with my now husband and told him early in our relationship, and he was very understanding.
One part of me wanted her to get the abortion, but the other part didn't. So I just prayed on it, and when I woke up, it was like, no, don't do it.
I knew I wanted to keep my baby. I knew I wanted to raise my baby. I didn't know how.
When it was time for us to try to get pregnant, I was terrified. I thought, there's no way God will allow me to get pregnant. But we did. We got pregnant right away, and it was really, for me, just a matter of time before God was going to punish me.
We started the process of adoption and went through a Christian adoption agency called Chosen Child Adoption Services. We were blessed to actually be at the hospital, and one of the sisters of the birth mom was holding our little baby, and she just says, oh, well, here's your son. And it's just a beautiful, just the way the wording from right then there, and as these two families now are intersecting, and it's just one of those feelings that you don't forget.
Here at the Angels Clinic, we are an obstetrics clinic, and we do counseling as well. Through there, we open a chart and we open a life.
If you've ever spent time in her clinic, you see that she gives tirelessly. She and her husband both. They volunteer all of their time.
We've been doing this for 4 years. We have helped over 650 babies.
Well, I was there when BJ was born. So when I seen my little Scooter Mac,
I always felt them and everything like that, but I never ever seen them. And now I'm holding you in my arms, like, it was nothing but tears, 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 so much love.
She faced a difficult situation and she chose life.
I was introduced to Young Lives at my school.
she talks about Young Life continuously. She talks about her Young Life teenage mom friends.
I went to a Young Lives camp. It was overwhelming because I never seen nothing like that. Not no judgment, not none of that. I felt wanted. I felt loved. And I never prayed as hard as I ever did until that night. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
After the birth of my second child, I was in MOPS, and one of our mentor moms got up in front of the group one day to share her testimony, and she had had an abortion. I could hear God very clearly at that point, kind of encouraging me to talk to her about my past. She was co-facilitating a Bible study called Forgiven and Set Free, and she encouraged me to come. Going to that Bible study the first day was one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life. We're given a rose when we walk in that symbolizes our child or our children. We spent time writing letters to our babies. We named our children, and we had a memorial service. It wasn't really until the memorial service there was a reading, and it was a conversation of an unborn child with God. They're talking about the baby's mother and where she is and why the baby and the mother aren't together, and the baby asks God, well, but why? Why isn't she here? And God looks at the child and says, I don't remember. At the end, we lay that rose down. We lay it down into God's hands. And that's when it went from my head, knowing that God had forgiven me, to my heart.
I feel like we are helping these young mothers find the answers based on God's plan.
And since our formation 10 years ago, we have now funded over 32 agencies with over $3 million.
Every time we see one baby, when the mom comes with the baby after delivery, we get the same high spirits.
They are just so giving, and that is the spirit that you find in all of these agencies that we support.
I wonder, where would I be as far as the Venegas Foundation, me and my husband, without them? We probably would have not done it.
From the beginning, our core value has been we educate, we do not legislate. So we are not a political organization in any way, and that has always been our heart. And that's how you change hearts. And so I see that as we make plans during the year to fund these beneficiaries, we need the help of all of our supporters.
I want to go far in life. I want me and my child to go far in life. I don't want to just stop with a high school diploma. I want to show him and show everyone else that even though you're a teen mother, you can still go far.
Well, God has blessed us just beyond measure with our daughters, and I've moved from a place of parenting out of fear to just a place of parenting out of joy. I felt God very clearly calling me to ministry with teen moms. A little piece of my story felt redeemed.
Living in the city of Dallas, we now realize that we have come so far.
The pro-life movement in this city is an example.
We want to go beyond our borders. So we have established an affiliate program, and we are going forward into other cities who have interest in starting their own Council for Life.
I think God has a sense of humor of how He puts these things together and takes the messes that our lives are and really makes such blessing come out of them. And we are very thankful that we got to go through this process and that we're in this process. And again, that's why I love Chosen Child Adoption Services, because that is their philosophy. It's not just trying to facilitate a placement for a baby to a Christ-centered home, but to have ongoing building into in a relationship and to minister to the birth moms who are involved as well.
Kristen, Kayla, and Scott represent the many, many individuals aided by the organizations that we support. They embody the purpose of the Council for Life, and they are why we do what we do.